Zoom.
Yeah, I'm gonna change my background 1 second.
Yeah, take your time. We got 5 minutes.
Okay, that's perfect. Oh, can you let Simon in? I got the flu, by the way. Hey, John,
Yeah,
Dr. Bennett. The dog says he'll give you $100 if you let him in.
a dog.
The dog.
I don't know if we let animals in. I just,
How about how about
yeah,
reptiles?
I get, yeah, reptiles eat better. I get, oh, good, the dog's here.
Yeah.
I get,
Okay, so Karen is here.
good.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi,
Karen. Hey.
Okay.
Karen, let me get my, Karen, I'm John Bennett.
Hi, John. Let's see here.
There's the dog.
I don't,
You
I'm
got
not
your camera
on this.
there? You got your camera on there, Karen?
Yeah, but it's asking me to sign in. And I don't know anything about that.
That's
So,
okay. At the very bottom of your screen is a camera.
I have a Mac. It's not going to be.
Hold on, I've got to promote you to the panel first.
Yeah,
So you
promote her.
gotta, okay, you're in there as a panelist. Now you should have an option at the bottom of your screen with the video camera. Do you see the video icon, the video? There you go. Now you got to turn your audio on.
Unmute my audio.
There we
There
There
go.
you go. We hear you.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Only had to do like 2 or 3 times.
I'm in Miami, dog's in New York. Kathryn's in the brain somewhere.
Yeah. I'm in
Uh-huh.
the cortex.
I'm in Sacramento. Well, yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. Let me get my video right.
See if anybody else comes on.
I doubt it. We won't have a big crowd.
Well,
Okay.
there's supposed to be 3 other women artists. It's okay,
Okay,
you know.
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, this is a 10th anniversary. Karen will explain it to you.
I'm surprised you guys are still sober this late in the day, 10th anniversary.
Um,
Hard to keep something going 10 years, that's
I
for
don't
sure.
drink.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah.
So
Kind of
you
hard to.
started 10 years ago, huh?
10
Yeah,
years, yep. Yep.
You've been active in the organization since then, since the start?
No, Studio Amwa has been active. Karen's been active longer, but Studio
Yeah, but
Amwa,
Amwa forever. I don't
yeah,
know. Somewhere
yeah.
back around.
So
Yes.
Okay, I guess we'll hear about it.
80s or whatever. But yeah, Studio Amwa 10 years.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll just introduce you, Kathryn, and then you just take it where you want to go. Yeah, I
Yeah.
imagine you want to explain the organization, the history,
Yeah,
the purpose for this meeting,
Okay.
etc.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
And introduce Karen when you want to introduce her, and introduce the dog when they want to introduce the dog.
Uh-huh.
We call him the
When do
dog.
you want to
I
start
can't.
now, or
We'll tell you later.
do we start now or when?
Yeah, well, whenever you want to start, Kathryn.
Well, let's see if
I'll
the
wait till
other
Kathryn gives the signal.
um I'm fighting a virus, by the way, so
Okay, we have
I'm
a
gonna
visitor. Time to
Kathryn?
celebrate.
It's not
Yeah,
avian flu, is it?
No, I actually went to City MD, the urgent care earlier. And so I don't have, it's not COVID, but, so I'm gonna, I'm coughing, so I'll mute on and off.
Did they
But why
test?
don't, hey, Liana.
Vienna.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
So, great.
Great.
All right. So let's wait until, let's wait
Okay.
1 minute and then,
Okay.
so
Oh,
Karen,
another visual. I don't believe it. Another one. Oh my God. Oh, get the champagne corks.
Oh, Kella said something here. Where's Kella telling
Kella
me?
can't make it. She's an emergency.
Oh, okay.
Mom emergency.
Oh dear.
So we'll show her work anyway.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah,
Poor-
hard to do residency like that. Very hard.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay. So,
Got more people. Florence is here. Hi, Florence. And someone named Carol.
oh yeah, Carol.
It's almost getting crowded.
Carol, how are you?
She's muted.
Yeah,
Florence looks familiar.
yeah. We did
I
a
know.
video with Florence.
Last year, right?
Yeah,
Okay, can you hear me now?
we
Yep.
can hear you. We can't
Yes.
see you.
I don't want you to see me, thank you. But I do love seeing you all, and I can't wait to hear you.
All right.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So, can get
So-
started.
Yeah.
You ready? You ready, Kathryn?
Yes.
Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Good afternoon. This is Dr. John Bennett in beautiful Miami Beach here in the background. Right where my finger is where I'm at right now. Today we have a meeting with Studio AMWA, headed, the main curator is Kathryn Coe. It's an online gallery of art by women who practice the art and science of medicine. And so Kathryn's going to run the show. She's going to tell you what it's all about. And let me just tell you about Kathryn very quickly, personally. It's good to run into her. We ran into each other probably around 8 or 9, the same time as Simon the dog. We actually were starting with Google Hangouts. I don't know if you guys remember that, the predecessor of Zoom. And it was a little awkward using it, but we had a group, and Kathryn was interviewing artists, a pianist, a playwright, and multiple other people. So it's good to see her, as well as dog. This is like the old days. Welcome, Kathryn.
Welcome. And John, I'm still waiting for that jingle. The neurosurgical jingle. I had one of the neurosurgeons wrote us a jingle for that series, Art on Call. You said you were gonna dust it off, Dr. Bennett.
Well, it starts with once was a man from Nantucket, but I don't think that's it.
So this is it's Karen and I have been together for many years. In fact, I met John Bennett when we were in Florida. I met John Bennett in person, Karen, when we had the AMWA meeting in Florida. And John came over and I bought him a hamburger at the cafe in the hotel. And that's how we actually met in person. And then we continued online for many, many years. But Karen and I have been doing Studio AMWA. Karen is a chair and I'm just a curator title, but Karen is really the chair, and she's the one that facilitates everything and makes sure it runs smooth with the American Medical Women's Association. So Studio AMWA this year is 10 years old, and I was talking to Karen, and it's so hard to keep anything going for 10 years. I don't know how we did it.
I'm not sure either. Now, if people aren't familiar, the American Medical Women's Association has been around for about 109 years. Not us, thank God. I'm beginning to feel like that. But it's an organization of women physicians and supporters, as well as we have women physician residents and students and even pre-med students who are involved. So it's kind of a very broad group of women and broad ranging in age, from old retired, semi-retired people like me to young folks. And Leanna is my student co-chair of the committee as of this year. And so she has some good plans, I think, to neurology, so a little more brain-related stuff. I'm a retired gynecologist and work now with a substance use clinic. But 10 years ago, I think our executive director was looking at different things going on with women physicians and met up with Kathryn at her studio in New York, I believe, and was talking to me about this and thought maybe we should have a committee at AMWA to encourage the arts. And from our committee, actually, other art groups, the literary group and music groups have also arisen over the years, but we were the original. And for a number of years, we're the only arts group that were operating. Sometimes it felt like it was just Kathryn and I, but we have had a number of artists in residence every year. We've had 1 to 2 artists in residence. Kathryn was our first artist in residence. And Florence was our artist in residence just this past year. Unfortunately, because of the family medical emergency, our current artist in residence, Calla Van Grass, had to not be here. But they've made some wonderful contributions to our committee, and we're looking forward to some gallery shows and doing some work at the annual meeting of AMWA coming up in March of 2025. So that's sort of the basics, is that we meet monthly and encourage our women artists and invite folks to join our committee.
Yeah, and I think AMO is way ahead by doing the artist in residence idea. And I think it's become quite popular now in medicine, the interface between medicine, the arts, all the arts, because it does bring something different to the medical arena that you will miss if you just study science and the textbooks. And so we have to say that Eliza, you know, when she came to our studio, she came to our studio, my small closet, which is
a little bigger than that.
So she came, and by the way, she came and she almost tripped over everything. And so it's so crowded. And she came and we just sort of said, you know, why don't we do it, you know? And here we are. I mean, I would have never thought that we would still be plugging away at 10 years, and I think even stronger, you know. I think and just so much joy working with the artists in residence, particularly with the last 3 people, Florence, Sammy, and Liana. It really has, don't you feel it's shifted a corner? It's become so much more meaningful. Not that the others weren't exciting and interesting, but the last 3 have been really special for some reason.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of dedication to art and willing to communicate. And it's been kind of fun to have that camaraderie, which I enjoy so much with other artists. And yeah, it's not hoarding. We're just artists, you know.
And, you know, the only way an artist can get better is really by interacting with other artists. And so that's, you know, it's really important if you really want your art to evolve, is to stay connected somehow to a group of people who will be honest with you. And I even, you know, we have a WhatsApp group too. And so I throw up some of my art that's not working. And I said, you know, I asked Liana, I said, and also Florence, what's the first thing that comes to your mind about the art? And they gave me good feedback about changing backgrounds and things like that. And I think it's really important when you're at a place in your art where you're kind of stuck, you know, you like it, but it's not quite working. it's really good to get feedback from people who you trust. And so my interaction with Studio Alma has been really good in that regard. So Liana has something to say about something special coming up.
Yeah, we're working on getting together for a group at Studio Amwash show in New York City. So we'll work with Positive Exposure Gallery and kind of do sort of a female voices in medicine art exhibit that kind of has everyone who's interested in the arts in Amwa, like a piece or two, and then we'll describe it there. They're a really interesting gallery because they work with like individuals in the medical field, and they also work with individuals who have like some sort of medical condition that they feel defines them or that they'd like to define differently in this world. So they've worked with like medical students and patients. They go between anywhere from Harvard to Stanford to Crichton and Michigan State, and they explore some kind of medical theme that they want to explore on. So we'll be there next.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, so it will probably coincide with the national meeting of 10 years. And so
In
that's be really exciting. And maybe that will lead to other venues, something in Hawaii. So maybe the pieces can travel, something like that. Let's keep our options open. Because I don't think, I can only say that we probably are the only artist in residence affiliated Studio Amwa, maybe in the United States. I don't think there's another artist in residence program in medicine that has lasted as long. And we serve as a model. Now Karen and I have to take it seriously. We really have to now it's really,
a little burden on our shoulders here. I see Kella is here. Hi, Kella.
Oh, that's so nice. Great.
Nice that you could drop into the webinar.
While she's getting settled, I'd like to show Florence's piece that she shared. I'm sharing her piece here. And I find that Florence always has some really interesting angle on the work that she does. And it's so particularly touching because when she describes it, you look at her art and you're listening, and then you go back and all of a sudden it just it's kind of emotional art, in my opinion. It begs a narrative, but you don't really need the story behind it because it's so touching. All of your pieces are so, I don't know, you sort of, for some reason, you really nail that, the tip of between emotion and art. Can you talk us a little bit about this piece that you're working on now? Of course, it's work in progress, correct?
Yes, there are a lot of work in progress, and this one is part of the series that I studied with the pieces that I did for the for last year Studio Amwa.
Mhm.
When I was studying this series called Silent Heroes. So basically, it's kind of highlighting all those different people who are helping us in medicine, but we don't really see them, but they are essential to us, to the work we are doing. And I think that each and every one of us we know someone, either Karen or Mary or whoever is in the nursing station, always going to the chart and making sure that everything is okay. But we barely see them most of the time, but they keep things pretty steady, calling the codes and making sure that everything is up to par with the demand of the floor. So in this piece, I was trying to capture, the dedication as well as their thoroughness, and also the the many things that they are doing at the same time. And I was trying also to capture the busyness of the floor, but putting all that in the background would have been too much. So I tried to make it a little bit abstract, and yeah, continuing to improve it as I go along. Sometimes I go back and see if I can add something and remove something else, but that's the basic of this one. Yeah.
I like the way your backgrounds have evolved, and they're a little bit less direct, because it focuses the attention on that person there. Of all your silent heroes, who was the most meaningful to you?
Hard to tell. It's hard for me. It's hard for me. But I would say that there was this piece that I did with the in the operating room with the passing nurse who was not the nurse, but kind of the attending to the nurse, who was putting all the instrument and making sure that everything was ready for the surgery while the surgery was happening. So that's one, but like, each and every piece usually are, when you are doing them, they mean so much to you, but it's hard really to pinpoint one.
Yeah, it's I would say my silent heroes, there's so many of them, but the one that really sticks out is the housekeeper. My internship year at Coney Island Hospital, where I had a terrible night on call. I thought I was going to quit. And I turned around and she must have been about 70, and with shaking hands and a cup. Doctor, you need this. And it was orange juice. But
Mhm.
can you imagine, after all that kind gesture of that person? So I never forgot the housekeepers. They
Yeah.
always meant something. So I always remembered her and honored them because of her.
Nice.
I love your pieces though. I can't wait to see them in person, and I'm sure the rest of us feel the same. Anything to say, guys, on her pieces?
I just love the light in this one, and that sort of the depth of the receding background is really lovely and accentuates, just very get a real human feeling here, like you can relate to this person. It's very good.
I like
Yeah,
how the book fades into the background and the whole thing kind of still sticks out. There's just an interesting texture to the whole painting.
Yeah. What an evolution, Florence, throughout the
No.
time that we have known you.
Yeah,
Really
but,
fantastic.
I would like to mention that I guess finding that group and having I would say the license to be a physician and also to be an artist was really instrumental in my development, because I was looking for that, I don't know how to phrase it, but that liberty to be this artist and evolve in that while maintaining my my medical field, my medical career. So thank you for creating this group, and also to continuing, to push us and guide us. So that was great. Thank you.
Well, I'd like to say something. I'm not an artist, but I really get a good, now that Kathryn pointed it out, I get a good position of a good look at the position. I really get a good sense of her position in the painting. Like it's more like it's turning into 3D from 2D. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, that treatment of the drapery and how it goes on the body is quite lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, you're particularly good with figure, Florence. Really, really good with it. And from your, I can tell because I'm following you on the social media, by the way, of course. And the confidence that you have now is quite different from when Karen and I met you. You had the confidence, but you're putting it out there. And the way you create your paintings with the music is, it's the last one, the baby. Oh, that was really, really, I watched it several times.
Thank you. Thank you. It's all about the license to practice and continue practicing, for sure.
Yeah. So let me see if let's see. So I don't know if Kella is still here.
Yeah, she's here. I can see
Oh,
her.
okay. Oh, okay. Hey.
I'm all sorted. Hi.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
thank you. I know it's tough. You know,
Yeah,
we
what
we
about
handle
that?
we handle so many things, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you for making every effort technologically and otherwise to come. And
Yeah.
Karen may want to introduce you.
Yeah, well, Kelvin Ness is our artist in residence for this year, and she's got a strong graphic design background. And let's see, I'm forgetting all the details. I know you're about to move into is it a residency position?
In
Yeah, I'm
surgery.
starting my-
Yeah.
Surgery. Right. Okay, got it. Sometimes all the details escape me, but yes. I know
Yeah,
you
and
on call times, and right now you had a little family stuff, so thanks for coming.
Yeah. And you look
Thank you.
great, by the way. Is it on your phone? It looks perfect.
it is on my phone. Yeah,
It's
so
just
good, I'm
absolutely
glad.
perfect.
Good.
I'm gonna share your piece now, if I
Maybe
may.
you could tell us a bit about it.
Yes, and so what struck Karen and I about your application for artist in residence was the graphic nature of it and the way you are good with color. And there's really, in this piece, there's 4 colors. So tell us about your piece and tell us how many colors in general you work with.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's actually interesting you say about the color because a lot of my art background has always been in black and white. So only in the past like 5 or 6 years, I've really been trying to get into more color. And so I haven't even studied color theory. So it's something that I get a little uncomfortable about. And because my stuff is mostly digital, I am able to work with that so easily, erase and change and switch. And so this is actually a painting that I did of a digital rendering. And so the colors that I originally wanted aren't identical because I had to mix them myself. And usually there's a really good online application with golden paints that allow you to match the color. And that's what I've done in the past. But this one, I really just kind of had to make the colors myself and figure out what I wanted to do. So with this one, I really just wanted the greens to kind of all be within roughly the same color scale and then have the yellow stand out. So there's really not much else besides what colors I enjoy, like, I believe that will do the painting justice.
Well, I like
Yeah.
the way.
So the project,
It's
Oh,
a
go
great
ahead.
analogous color scheme. As someone who has spent a lot of time studying color in college, but it's beautiful that you rendered all the way from the yellow through the yellow greens to the blue greens. It's really a nice analogous scheme, and that yellow does stand out beautifully.
Yeah, and the background, which is that light, it's sort of a pale green. And it transitions from dark to light as you go from top to bottom. And that's a trick that as the figure gets darker, not this particular one, but in general, on the dark side of a figure, when you're painting a figure, the background should get lighter. And on the light side of a figure, the background should get darker. That's a common trick in art and especially painting. And you've done that. Maybe somehow by making the green background darker, and as you transition down, when the circles get darker, the background gets lighter. So it's really nice. It's eye-catching. And tell us about the project in general.
Yeah, so this project was something I've had on my mind for a while. First semester, first week of medical school, you learn about dermatomes, and I thought that the paintings and illustrations were always really interesting, but there was something that about them being, 2D and all of that when it came to actually applying the knowledge during clerkships, there was some things I felt like I was missing. And so I kind of just got percolating like the ideas of what I wanted to do and how I wanted to remake it. And a lot of my other art is digital art about women's bodies. And so I thought mixing, my art side with my medical side. So also in my paintings for the first time, doing women's bodies in different positions it's more indicative of the way people live and the way people explain how their injuries might come about or what they're feeling. And so I kind of just wanted to translate that and see how that would look with my, interests in making kind of unique, abstract, colored paintings.
Oh, it's great. And this one is acrylic. This is now the painted part of the digital, correct?
And then I'm just going to put in the dermatome lines on this one, and this one will be finished.
Oh, that's going to be great. Okay, thank you for sharing that. And let's see if I can. Okay. And by the way, we're really excited that you're the 10th artist in residence. It's really special, and we can't wait to see what the rest of your project brings. And we hope that this year, because as you start your surgical residency, which I can relate to, is an extremely meaningful one. And when things get tough in surgery, for whatever reason, keep art close. It will really pull you through difficult times. And that's what it's done for me, and maybe Karen has the same sentiment. But keep it close, and you'll be fine.
Well, thank you for having me. It was such an honor to be chosen. I'm excited to be here and meet all of you and get to share the project that I've been working on with everybody.
All right. So now we have the eye.
Yes, Liana's piece.
So it's just a pterygium over the eye. It's not completely finished. This one's in pen so far, and then I'm trying to decide what to do the details of the actual growth with. I'm playing with maybe I'm gonna do really fine red glitter to do the vessels, or gold, or it might be the only part that's in color. So we'll see what I do with that. But basically it's an ongoing series of things I find interesting while in the hospital that I'm trying to make less frightening for someone who's not in medicine to look at. Because I think just the real picture of a pterygium kind of creeps people out. And I'm not sure that this is leagues better because it's still an eye with a growth over it, but I'm hoping to make it a little more fun.
Well, I like it because, when you, I like it, period. I think it's extremely well rendered. But when you look at the pupil, it almost looks like the universe. You know what I mean? It's almost looking like you're looking at the galaxy.
Oh.
There's some, there's some dynamism within the pupil itself. And I don't know if that was on purpose, or I guess the way the light hits the pupil, but it almost looks like, it could be outer space for some reason to me. That's what caught my eye immediately. Anything else, guys?
Yeah.
Well,
I really like this one. Go ahead, Karen.
No, go. Yeah.
I think your ability to make something look so realistic is I'm in awe of all the stuff that you've drawn. I really like this one because as someone who's also, just right out of medical school, but still learning in that learning phase of everything, it really makes sense. I see what you're doing here and what you're trying to teach us. And it does make it very approachable. But when you saw this, I almost gasped on my phone. It was just really beautifully done, especially capturing all of that character in a sketch.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and what Kathryn always talk about the illustrator in the difference, but here I see the interface of both the artist and the illustrator, so it's really well done. And I like Kella said, I'm like, wow, this is great with the shading and the way you did it with the pen. That was good work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't underestimate the difficulty of drawing with a pen. It's a lot different than drawing with a pencil where you can erase. And so you have to have a really good control of where you're going. Because there's no way you don't use any kind of erasing medium, right?
No. I just start with very narrow pens to begin with, the finer tips, and then I move up. So
yeah, it's very hard. You're kind of, you donated a piece to the Koike Museum.
Yeah.
We're trying to do an upcoming show called Inspiration in Medicine, and there's a number of pieces already submitted, but you gave an eye, and so you're sort of involved in this right now. Looking at the eye, and what is that all about?
I'm not entirely sure. I just happen to look at a lot of interesting eyes lately that I thought were interesting. Um, I started with a couple that I saw while on rotations at like an eye clinic for 3 weeks. And then in my actual neurology rotation where I wanted to go, then I saw a more interesting eye pathology because that's just like part of the neurologic exam. You have to look at the eye. Um, Now it's just sort of eyes are interesting. There's a lot of detail to them. And I think the pathology relating to the eye and the kind of symbolism you can add to an eye is a little bit easier, at least in my mind. So I'm kind of playing with that a little bit because the one that went to the Koike Museum, it's not even really realistic or based on any pathology. It's just an eye with like a brain inside. So sort of like, visualizing what you want to do, kind of. Because someone said eye on the prize to me, and I was like, how could I make that kind of literal?
Yeah, well, I think that it's going to be very popular.
I like that you have you as somebody who does a fair bit of mixed media art. I like the idea that you're going to maybe, you use a lot of mixed media in your painting and art and drawing, and the red and the gold glitter kind of, or red glitter, whatever you're going to put there, I think seems pretty exciting.
Yeah, speaking of glitter, I think we should bring some vials of glitter to the paint night.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Get everywhere.
throw them around. I wanted to ask you, Liana, though, what does the art bring to you in your you're going to graduate soon, you're going to move to the next phase of your medical career. What does it bring to you? Because you seem to need art. You seem to, you always say, oh, I'm really busy right now. And then the next thing on Instagram is a new illustration. What does it bring to you? And why are you so, it's something that you keep doing no matter how busy you are.
It's very compulsive and I actually get a lot of joy out of it. Like I talk to a lot of artists who are like, it's something I do and it's something I know how to do. But for me, I feel like art is something I actually derive a lot of joy from doing. So even though I'm studying for, step 2 and whatever else is going on right now, like it's something that I would be more stressed out and I don't know, just not as happy if I wasn't doing it. I think my camera roll's kind of full of just like stuff that I say I'm going to draw. Like even on like I think I took the most pictures like on my neurology rotation. And they were like, yeah, we'll send you this, we'll send you that. I've got like a picture of a clot from one of the stroke codes I got to see that's like on the list of things I have to draw. Um, a couple of them have like posed in different ways that they know I'm going to draw them because some of them have turned into figures because I like the passion of teaching in the room at the time. And I've messaged a couple of them like, hey, do you remember when you were in that room? Like, you got to send me more pictures of that. Like, it's something I think like, so I read somewhere art is re-experiencing the parts of your life that you enjoyed. And I think I have a good time reinterpreting the medicine and science I get to see in a way that other people might appreciate more. Because I don't think people look at medicine and art as something that's like intuitive and appealing.
Oh, that was pretty good. One thing about you, since we know you now a long time, is boy, have you grown up. I mean, you have really evolved to be able to put that thing in that sentiment into words. Yeah, it's pretty special. That might be something you might want to write down, because it's really hard to say why we do this. I do it because it's a source of comfort for me. It bridged a very, very difficult career that I had, allowed me to you know, when things didn't go well for whatever reason, kind of, you always had this space where you could work out some kind of situation. But you know, why do we actually do this? We have full careers, right? Full busy careers, but we somehow have to carve out a tiny space in our lives. Not even tiny, actually. A big space, and we have to do it, right? Karen, you feel the same way?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, it's just, I appreciate Florence's drawings of the people around, because that was one of the things I used to just sort of sketch the nurses or something when I was sitting there at a nurse's station waiting for, you know, something to happen for the delivery room. You know, there's a lot of OB/GYN waiting around time, and it's a good time to do some drawing. But yeah, I mean, I would come home and it would be late, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I would head into my arts and craft room and either do some arts or do my crafts. I mean, I like to just create something. And now I do my art and I do some writing. It's just, you have to express yourself sometimes. And I think the other thing is, as we take the time to do our art, to draw or write or, you know, explore some of these things, it helps us to be better observers of our patients and understand a lot more in depth their lives and their problems. So I find it's very, you know, mutually helpful to have that experience of dealing with people so closely, and then be able to express ourselves in art and take what we learn there back to our patients.
Yeah, you know, I think it's, you know, I would like, I actually, I don't feel sorry, but I kind of regret that people, other medical students and other medical professionals don't have the opportunity or time to explore the arts. And that's one of the basis from me initiating the Koike Museum, is because, you know, it's right there. And so you don't have to go to a fancy marble colonnade metropolitan museum to see art. You can just walk outside your library and it's outside. I wanted to plant the kernel of thought that doing something outside the box makes your box bigger. And that's the whole thing. And that's one of the basis of Studio Amwa. In fact, you know, maybe the Koike, when I first started, I mean, maybe the Koike came out of Studio Amwa. You know, maybe that whole thing of working with Karen 10 years through all the through all the challenges, maybe working with her actually made me, you know, kind of said, you know, I got to do a museum, a tiny museum for the medical students. I don't know. And I hope that also, you know, even this experience that you guys also go on and do some innovative stuff too. You know, just do something that you think would make with the arts that makes other people's lives better. And I see on the in the group, there's two artists that they will not show themselves. One is Carol Amadeo, is a very good friend of mine. She's a fantastic photographer. She doesn't want to show herself, but Carol is a donor. She donated her body to Stony Brook Medical Center. And she has, and also will be donating some of her photographs to the medical school. And so when she passes, her body goes into medical school. It's okay if I say that, right, Carol?
Yes, no problem.
Okay. And the other one is Isaac Michalowski, who is if you follow him on Instagram, he is a photographer of currently now birds. And Isaac, we met each other Isaac, was it 35 years? I don't know. So many years ago when I took care of his son, who had been in a car accident. He got hit by a truck. And so I, you know, was a neurosurgeon on his case. And so I took care of the son, and then the family adopted me.
Mommy.
And here we are 35 years, Isaac, 35
Yes.
years later.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we've gone the full circle of,
Yes.
you know, we first started off as doctor patient and then became friends.
And now we call you mom.
And I call you grandpa. No, Isaac is, anyway, they're all, both of them are on Instagram. They're both fantastic photographers and stuff.
Thank you.
so
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming in and listening to the art. Is there anything else, Karen, that we should talk about?
Mm. I can't think of anything at the moment, but I welcome people to come to the AMWA Doctors site online and visit the gallery and see what some of our art and what.
Okay,
Kath-
what's the address? We'll go there. Let's take a look at it.
Okay.
What's the
Okay,
address?
so-
The
okay,
screen share that
Look it
address.
up. So,
Okay, you know what? Let me find it. And
I'll-
while I'm finding it, go ahead and keep talking.
yeah, you know, I think. Yeah, here we go.
I'll find it. Carol, do you have any questions for us?
No, I'm just mesmerized by it all. It's so fun. Me that knows nothing about medicine, but was always very attracted to it. And of course, the fact that I'm a photographer and the artist part, it's just very delicious, the whole thing.
Oh,
Well, our website is https:// What happened to my
here,
screen?
wait, here it
We
is.
see it, we see it, we see it.
Here's Studio Alma, and the whole thing is that we got your back.
But I can't
Because
see the address up there.
oh,
Yeah.
we'll put it on the we'll
Yeah,
put
in
it
the
somewhere.
chat.
it's up in the far left there, far
Yeah.
left.
Yeah, here
yeah.
it is. It's right here. Yeah.
amwa-doc.org/Studio Amwa, all one word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
And
this
you
is
can
our
see-
site.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. So this
our
is our
art Down here, you can see there's Leanna's
yeah.
heart.
And then there's
Kathryn.
some different pieces that people have submitted.
Things we-
Let me show you one piece if I can find it. Oh, look at this. Look at this piece here. Arterial. And that's done by Simon Downs.
The dog.
Ha ha ha.
Hey,
Can-
Simon.
Can you tell us
about it.
about the piece, Simon?
Done in about 5 minutes. I'm a video editor. So I known Dr. Ko since 2015, introduced by Dr. Bennett, and we've edited hundreds of videos together. That's about the extent of my art.
Okay, and here's the artist in residence page with the and what I like about this is that it says in art we trust, in women we trust, in women artists we trust.
Yeah.
And here's Kella's write-up and the beautiful pieces that she's done. Some of them, she has a website and you can scroll through. This is this is a terrible, it looks like I'm choking, but this is no, it looks horrible, but this is a funny video that Florence and I did talking about her art. And this is her, and then the next one is Sammy and Viana. So go through, that's on the page there. Yeah, so and then you can, there's an application process and things like that. So I hope people will stop by and help us celebrate 10 years. We really have to make it a big bash at the meeting.
Right, and we encourage people to contribute art, and also on that list of things on that site, you can see our White Coat project, and we're talking about mental health this year. We did one on reproductive rights last year, and people a group of medical students, individuals decorate white coats and we usually have a theme every year for our meetings. So this year's focuses on mental health.
2025
25,
meeting.
yeah.
Oh, excellent. Fantastic.
So,
All right.
and people are invited to contribute their thoughts on mental health on a white coat.
Excellent. All right. Does anyone else want to make any other statements or ask any questions or anything?
Well, I'd just like to say, if you guys want to have further meetings in the future, just let me know.
Well, thank you. It's a joy to see you. But you've got to get that jingle, John.
Oh, hey, the Three Musketeers.
Okay?
The Three
Come on, where's that
Musketeers.
jingle? It's so
We
cute.
got the Three Musketeers. We got Dog, Kathryn, and me.
Yeah. And we have to put in a plug for Dr. Bennett's extraordinary physical prowess. You know, he was a professional hockey player for the NHL.
Wow.
I got too many
Impressive.
pucks to the head. Too many pucks to the head. Too many
What team
games.
did you play for?
No, Philadelphia. But too
Oh.
many games without a helmet.
Oh.
But at least you still have your teeth. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, no.
Oh.
We're gonna have to edit that
My
out.
whole
that.
family doesn't have teeth.
Well, yeah, that's hockey. That's hockey. You know, you don't have teeth. The thing,
Well,
right?
at the wedding, every wedding, we all have our teeth out.
Oh no.
Oh my God. But you know, when I met John, I couldn't believe his height. He's huge. You know, he looks so tiny in there, you know. But in real life, this guy's huge. I couldn't believe it.
The whole family, you have to be. Well, it helps to be big in sports.
Yeah, yeah.
It helps.
Especially hockey. That's a tough sport. I used to.
Yeah. Well, it's
early
the way-
70s. A big
well, you
kind
know-
of fan.
well, you guys learn discipline from studying. We learn discipline from sports. I mean, we worked hard at it, just like you guys studied hard, you know, in areas that you liked. And it's good as a kid to have something to work hard at, you know.
Yeah, Dr. Bennett is a graduate of Brown Medical School and speaks fluent Spanish.
And let's talk about the dog. The dog, the medical student dog, the honest.
No. Used to be.
Anyway.
Past life.
Yeah.
So great. Anything else, guys? That's it? Okay.
For today.
Thank you so much for
Thank you,
celebrating
everybody. We'll see
our
you again.
10th anniversary. All right.